In the late 1990s, the NXIVM cult, otherwise known as NXIVM, emerged as a beacon of self-improvement and professional success. The group was founded by Keith Raniere, a man who promised to unlock the human potential through his executive coaching programs. Positioned as a revolutionary blend of scientific, philosophical, and psychological methodologies, NXIVM attracted thousands, including business leaders and celebrities, drawn to the group with promises of empowerment and transformation. NXIVM began in the late 1990s as a self-help organization founded by Keith Raniere in Albany, New York. Ostensibly, it offered personal and professional development seminars through its executive success programs. Raniere, often referred to by his followers as Vanguard, claimed to have one of the highest IQs in the world and portrayed himself as a philosopher, scientist, and entrepreneur who could help others to achieve their fullest potential. Keith Raniere was born on August 26, 1960 in Brooklyn, New York. Growing up, he was described as intelligent and inquisitive, but also manipulative and obsessed with control. Raniere's early life was marked by claims of extraordinary intellectual abilities. He purportedly spoke full sentences at 1 year of age, and by the age of 12, claimed to have mastered high school mathematics. However, these claims are difficult to verify and have been viewed skeptically by many. In the 1980s, Raniere graduated from the Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute with a degree in biology, mathematics, and physics. Despite his academic achievements, it was his business ventures that began to draw attention, starting with Consumers Byline Inc., a multi-level marketing company he founded in the early 1990s. This business faced allegations of being a pyramid scheme and was shut down by authorities, with Raniere agreeing to a consent order to cease operations without admitting wrongdoing. The closure of Consumers Byline didn't deter Raniere. Instead, it set the stage for his next venture, NXIVM, which he established as an executive coaching company offering personal and professional development seminars. NXIVM was portrayed as a legitimate business, but its core was built around Raniere's philosophies, which combined elements of psychology, business, and self-help techniques, often described as revolutionary by his followers. Raniere's ability to attract and maintain a following was central to his persona. He cultivated an image of a guru-like figure, often speaking in a calm, deliberate manner that drew people in. His charisma and the promise of personal enlightenment and empowerment were key factors in NXIVM's growth. However, beneath the facade, Raniere was manipulative and abusive. His relationships within NXIVM, particularly with women, were marked by allegations of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse. Keith Raniere's background reveals a complex figure, a man of apparent intelligence and charm, capable of inspiring loyalty and devotion, yet also exploiting those very qualities for his gain and control. His life trajectory from a promising student to the convicted leader of a destructive cult underscores the duality of his character and the impact he had on those around him. Unlike typical self-help groups, NXIVM offered a unique blend of philosophical, scientific, and psychotherapeutic methodologies, which they claimed could lead to personal transformation and empowerment. The organization used a ranking system similar to that of martial arts, with colored sashes representing one's level within the organization. This hierarchical structure created an elite status around higher-ranking members, making the program more enticing and addictive to its participants. Raniere's close circle, including Nancy Salzman, his co-founder, helped enforce his methodologies and beliefs, creating an environment where dissent was discouraged and loyalty to Raniere was paramount. Keith Raniere masterfully fused elements from neuro-linguistic programming, Scientology-esque auditing, hypnotherapy, behavior modification, Eastern spirituality, and group psychology to create NXIVM's seductive curriculum. This blend promised profound personal transformation, luring individuals into a web spun with the threads of self-improvement and enlightenment. Yet, beneath this allure, these methodologies were twisted into tools of control and manipulation. Initial red flags about NXIVM included its secretive nature, the intense devotion demanded from its members, and the extravagant claims of Raniere's abilities and achievements. Former members and critics began to raise concerns about manipulative practices, financial exploitation, and the psychological harm inflicted on participants. Reports of Raniere's control over members, including allegations of sexual abuse and the demand for absolute loyalty, began to surface, hinting at the organization's more sinister operations beneath its facade of self-improvement. NXIVM was structured like a pyramid, with Keith Raniere, otherwise known as Vanguard, at the top. Directly below him was Nancy Salzman, the co-founder, otherwise known as the Prefect. They, alongside a small group of loyal followers, formed the inner circle, which dictated the organization's operations and ethos. Nancy Salzman, a nurse and trained hypnotist, met Raniere in the late 1990s, and they founded NXIVM together in 1998. Salzman's expertise in neurolinguistic programming was integral to developing the curriculum for NXIVM's Executive Success Program, which claimed to help individuals achieve personal and professional success through self-awareness and emotional growth. As the second-in-command, Salzman enforced Raniere's teachings and methodologies, maintaining the organization's hierarchical structure and ensuring members' compliance and devotion. Other high-ranking members included Claire and Sarah Bronfman, heirs to the Seagram's liquor fortune, who played a significant role in financing and promoting NXIVM. Their financial support was crucial in expanding NXIVM's reach and in defending the organization against critics and legal challenges. One of the most secretive and controversial aspects of NXIVM was the Dominus Obsequious Sororium, also called DOS, which translates to Master over the Slave Women. This secret society within NXIVM was composed of women who were branded with Raniere's initials and were allegedly subjected to sexual slavery. DOS operated under the guise of women's empowerment, claiming to foster membership and growth among its members. However, it functioned as a manipulative scheme to exert control over women, requiring them to provide collateral in the form of compromising information or materials to ensure their loyalty and silence. Members of NXIVM, particularly those in DOS, were subjected to extreme forms of manipulation and control. The use of collateral, which could be released publicly if a member tried to leave or speak out against the organization, was a key method of control. The practice ensured that members remained compliant and loyal to Raniere and the organization's leadership. The branding of women in DOS with Keith Raniere's initials, performed without anesthesia, symbolized the ultimate control Raniere and his inner circle exerted over its members. This act, masqueraded as a bonding and empowering ritual, was in reality a form of ownership and domination. The manipulation extended beyond physical control to psychological and emotional dominance, with members subjected to intensive and demeaning therapy sessions designed to break down their identities and reshape them according to Raniere's ideals. This process often involved sleep deprivation, sexual humiliation, and emotional abuse, further entrenching the members' dependence to the organization and its leaders. Through these mechanisms, NXIVM maintained a facade of self-improvement and empowerment, while in reality, it operated as a platform for exploitation and abuse, orchestrated by Keith Raniere and facilitated by his closest associates. The unraveling of NXIVM began with a series of investigative reports and the defection of high-ranking members who exposed the dark underbelly of the organization. The pivotal moment came in 2017 when the New York Times published a detailed expose based on interviews with former members who disclosed the existence of the DOS and the abusive practices within NXIVM. This report brought significant public attention to the organization and sparked legal investigations. Journalists, along with former members, played a crucial role in uncovering the truth about NXIVM, revealing the extent of Raniere's manipulation and the abusive practices that were occurring behind its closed doors. In 2018, Keith Raniere was arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and forced labor conspiracy. The trial that followed featured testimony from several former NXIVM members who detailed the experiences of manipulation, coercion, and abuse. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was the testimony regarding the branding ceremony of DOS members, which was described as both physically and psychologically traumatizing. The evidence presented in court included video recordings, emails, and testimonies that illustrated the extent of the manipulation and exploitation that occurred within NXIVM. These revelations painted a stark picture of Raniere's control over the organization and the harm inflicted on its members. One of the most shocking revelations was the description of the branding ceremony. Witnesses testified that they were told the branding was a symbol of empowerment and a bond among the sisters of the DOS. Instead, they were physically branded with Keith Raniere's initials near their pelvic area, a process that was excruciatingly painful and performed without anesthesia. The branding was filmed and participants were required to be fully naked, adding to the humiliation and control exercised by Raniere and his inner circle. DOS members were required to provide collateral to join the group, which could include nude photos, sexually explicit videos, or other compromising materials. This collateral was ostensibly to cement their lifelong commitment to DOS, but in reality, it served as a tool for blackmail to ensure the compliance and silence. Testimonies reveal that DOS operated with a strict hierarchical structure, where women were assigned roles as either masters or slaves. Slaves were expected to obey the masters without question, performing tasks and favors. This dynamic was sold to them as a way to strengthen character and discipline, but it clearly established a coercive power dynamic. Several witnesses recounted being groomed for sexual encounters with Raniere, which were initially veiled as a spiritual or personal growth experience. Over time, these encounters were revealed to be a systematic approach to sexual abuse. Witnesses testified that refusing Raniere's advances would result in punishments or the threat of releasing their collateral. Witnesses also described severe lifestyle controls imposed by Raniere, including strict low-calorie diets and sleep deprivation. These tactics were purported to help members achieve higher levels of enlightenment and physical purity, but they also weakened their physical and psychological ability to resist manipulation. In June 2019, Keith Raniere was convicted on all counts, including sex trafficking, forced labor conspiracy, and racketeering. He was later sentenced to 120 years in prison, effectively a life sentence. This verdict marked a significant victory for the victims and was a pivotal moment in the fight against coercive control and psychological manipulation in cults. The trial and subsequent conviction of Raniere, along with other high-ranking NXIVM officials including Allison Mack and Nancy Salzman, who both pled guilty to related charges, signified the end of NXIVM as an operating entity. However, the aftermath for the members, particularly those who were deeply involved, was complex, involving a mix of relief, trauma, and the need for healing. The exposure and legal battle against NXIVM highlighted the importance of investigative journalism, the bravery of survivors coming forward, and the legal system's role in addressing such egregious abuses of power. For the victims, the legal outcomes were a crucial step in their healing journey, offering a form of closure and public acknowledgement of the wrongs they suffered. However, the social consequences persisted, as many struggled with the stigma of having been part of NXIVM. Rebuilding their lives and identities post-NXIVM proved to be a complex and painful process. The end of the trial did not mark the end of the struggles for justice for many former NXIVM members. Ongoing legal battles aimed to address the financial damages and continued psychological support for the victims. Efforts to reform laws around psychological manipulation and coercive control gained momentum, reflecting a broader societal shift in recognizing and addressing such abuses. The fall of NXIVM prompted a widespread reevaluation of similar organizations and the mechanisms of control and manipulation they employ. It raised questions about the vulnerability of individuals seeking personal growth and the responsibility of society to protect them from exploitative practices. The media coverage and public discourse surrounding NXIVM's downfall led to a broader awareness of the signs of coercive control and the importance of safeguarding individual autonomy and dignity. The media played a crucial role in both the rise and fall of NXIVM. Initially, the organization's ability to attract celebrities and high-profile personalities contributed to its allure and legitimacy. However, investigative journalism was instrumental in exposing the truth behind NXIVM, demonstrating the power of the media in shaping public perception and holding powerful figures accountable. The case highlighted the need for critical scrutiny and due diligence in reporting on organizations that claim to offer transformative experiences. The NXIVM case serves as a stark reminder for the potential for abuse in organizations that exploit the human need for growth and belonging. Keith Raniere's conviction and the subsequent downfall of NXIVM highlight the critical role of investigative journalism and survivor testimony. This saga is not just about the rise and fall of the NXIVM cult, but also about the need to protect vulnerable individuals from groups like this that prey on people's need for acceptance and belonging. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me as we dove into the world of the NXIVM cult. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you have a topic you'd like to see me cover in the future, drop a comment. And always remember, don't drink the Kool-Aid.